Okay, so I'll try and get through this a bit faster and get us back on track. Dangers of Delusional AI. Everyone knows about AI. Just a quick introduction. I'm James Ball. I'm a chartered security professional, which means I have a nice pretty certificate in a frame. I run a family tech and security consultancy, and as you can tell, part-time fashion icon. So, what is AI? I'm assuming everyone here has some idea about what AI is. That's probably why you're in this talk. But just in case, it's not just ChatGPT. There is more to the world of AI than ChatGPT, than large language models. It's been with us for a long, long time. And it includes such things as decision trees, the old flowcharts. You go through, you make a decision, done. That is AI, after a fashion. It fits in the category. Another example, credit scoring. I'm assuming everyone knows about credit scoring and hates it as much as I do. But that is artificial intelligence. It's an algorithm, it takes in data, it puts out a conclusion at the end. It is artificial intelligence, it is AI. Health diagnostics. Lots of this going on. We recently had a lovely total failure in the UK with a company called Babylon Health, which was using AI for diagnostics, trying to replace GPs. They've gone bankrupt now and been broken up because they never got it working, and every single clinician who worked there said that their AI was horrendous. They were just randomly assigning symptoms to causes and had no idea what they were doing. So, it's used for health diagnostics. Not very well, but it is. So, is this idea of delusional AI breaking the world just some sort of fear-mongering? Just fear, uncertainty and doubt? I came up with a few questions to decide whether it's unreasonable to be scared of it or not. First one, is it dangerous? Really important question. Is AI actually dangerous? Do we need to worry about Terminator taking over the world? Or The Matrix, or any of those lovely apocalyptic films where AI slaughters humanity? Second one, should we trust it? It's different to the first question. What does it have to do with Delphi? I will explain that. Not the programming language, for those of you who are old enough to get that joke. And what can we actually do about it? Because, let's face it, AI's here. Regulation is slowly coming along. In 5-10 years, they might have the appropriate legislation for where we were a decade ago. It's not going to happen soon. So what can we actually do before then? So, first of all, is it dangerous? Do we need to worry about it taking over? Quick straw poll. Anyone here worried about AI taking over the world? Predicted that one. But doesn't mean it's not dangerous.
It can cause harm.
It can cause harm. There are, as we heard in the last presentation, unknown risks involved, and there's a lot of known risks as well. Okay, second question. Should we trust it? Well, I came up with some examples on this one. So there was a lovely system in the United States, you may have heard of it. It was called Compass, or is called Compass, it's still in use. And it was used for parole hearings to decide whether prisoners should be released on parole. What was the risk of them reoffending? Should they be allowed to go out into the world, have jobs, live, or kept in prison? And it was used all over the states, still is in some of them. Slight problem with it, in that it was horrendously racist, and if you were black, you were counted as, I think it was something like 10 to 15 times more likely to reoffend by the system because the data they fed into it was biased. It wasn't accurate. So, massive problem, lots of court cases, still in use in some places, but well known to be biased, one of the best examples. Another example, again from the States. See if you can spot a pattern with these. Optum is a company that make a health scoring algorithm for hospitals, for health insurance, to decide what the future costs of healthcare would be for someone, and therefore what their premiums should be, what they should be charged, what they should be allowed. See if you can guess what the problem was with Optum's algorithm, or is. Anyone? Okay. Racism again. You might spot a pattern here. Facial recognition. Facial recognition, massively widely used. Can you guess the problem with the most commonly used facial recognition algorithms? And sexism. You know, it's gone for the double this time. They are better at distinguishing faces of white men and recognising that we are individuals. Everyone else is just a mass. You can mistake them for each other. But yeah, huge problems there as well. Getting on to the more advanced stuff now. Anyone hear about this case in New York? A lawyer or a group of lawyers? They used ChatGPT to prepare their case. They used it to do the research. It's a lot cheaper than having a legal assistant. Highly recommended. Slight problem. It invented all of the legal precedents. They never actually happened. So the legal firm was fined, the lawyer was sanctioned, should have possibly been disbarred, but I'm not the judge. And the case, unsurprisingly, fell apart. There we go, delusional AI. Don't trust it. One last one, I promise. Anyone here know the Guardian newspaper? Best newspaper in the UK? I'm not getting political. The Guardian had let's call it an incident a little while ago, where they discovered, see if you can guess which system, a certain large language model being used by various people for research, for writing articles, citing sources, was inventing Guardian articles. Just claiming they existed and dropping it in and moving on. Their response to this is still ongoing, but it's safe to say they're not happy. Other UK newspapers don't care so much about truth, so we'll ignore them. Guess what? Gets worse than all of that. So this is now getting into opinion. This is not necessarily evidenced facts, but trust me, I'm right. When you get AI, you are getting a cat in a sack. I'm told that's the right expression. I was advised to go with pig in a poke, which is more common in the UK, but I like cats. And it's a better one. You're getting a cat in a sack. No animal cruelty was involved in the creation of this presentation, by the way. Talking about AI, all of the images are in fact AI generated, so no real animals were stuck in sacks. But even the previous algorithms we had, the credit scoring, affordability checks for mortgages, even the most mature, well-established ones, are effectively black boxes. You cannot examine their workings. In theory, some of the earlier ones you could, but no one's going to let you. So you just have to trust that the decision's right. And this is where we start getting real problems. Early algorithms, great, we can pick them apart. We can look for biases, we can examine the data, we can say, oh, the scoring on this is wrong. Modern ones, machine learning, no, not an option. Because we do not understand how they make their decisions. We throw a lot of information into them, we tell them the answers we want, and then we reward them when they do well and punish them when they do badly. Not physically, it's all mathematical, they don't just beat the computer. But they are black boxes. We cannot trace through how that decision was made. And this gets really bad very, very fast. Anyone know this expression? Yeah, garbage in, garbage out. Now, large language models, because they're the popular one now, so I'm going to focus on them because they deserve a bit of bullying. They have taken all of the data they could grab, stuck it into the model and started using it to generate stuff. Problem is, what they're really doing, or effectively doing, is generating lowest common denominator content. So they're synthesizing basic, average nonsense that sounds plausible, it sounds good, and saying, this is what you've got, this is made up from all of the information in the world, and here you go. More and more AI content is out there. It is at the base level of acceptability. So as they grow these, given they've already hoovered up all of the good content, they're now hoovering up more and more AI-generated content. Guess what happens when you feed an AI on AI? It gets more and more detached from reality. It goes utterly surreal. Really weird stuff starts coming out. Other problem, the hype. Who's fed up of hearing about ChatGPT? Or Jasper AI, or Gamma App, or any of these ones, Midjourney. I love Midjourney, I don't want to talk about it, but I am fed up of the hype. And as people get more and more excited, there's more and more investment, there's more and more demands, expectations, more and more and more and more, less and less safeguards, less and less thinking, less time for actual experts or people who think things through to catch up and say, maybe you don't want to do that. So, more money going in, things get faster, it goes bad. And this one is really my bugbear around it. There is no information integrity. Now, everyone knows the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, availability. IT always gets obsessed over availability, security always gets obsessed over confidentiality. Personally, I think the important one is that one in the middle that gets ignored. Information integrity is absolutely vital. Doesn't matter if you keep the information secret if you can't trust it. Doesn't matter if it's available if you can't trust it. AI does not respect information integrity at all. There is no traceability, there is no accountability, there is no verification. This is dangerous. Delphi, not the database programming language. Little story. Once upon a time, there was an oracle called the Oracle of Delphi, or the Delphic Oracle. Famously gave prophecies directly from the gods themselves. Prophecies which came true, were completely trusted. Empires rose and fell based on these. It was unquestioning. Absolute belief in these things. Evidence suggests that these prophecies, and this may come as a shock to everyone, were not direct from the gods. They were instead direct from some sort of natural fissure, which produced ethylene vapours. There is archaeological evidence for this, I checked it, and the evidence was not generated by AI. Ethylene vapours produce hallucinations. See the connection to delusional AI? So, these prophecies were trusted. These predictions were used to determine the fate of empires and individuals. Socrates was in one of them. Apparently there is no wiser man than Socrates, but I don't know, I don't think drinking hemlock is a good idea. Modern futurologists do similar things with their predictions. And as you know, futurologists are incredibly accurate and reliable when they have 10 minutes to explain their prediction after the event has happened. Pseudoscience and AI. Anyone know what phrenology is? It's a bit of an obscure one. It is predicting people's personality by examining the lumps on their head. This is a Victorian science which was used. You can get, clay head models with all of the different personality areas. Nothing said about if you hit someone with a hammer, if it changes their personality. Again, in the UK, that font of good decisions, there is a piece of legislation coming in which is going to require age verification for all adult content. Not just tick the box, yes, I am over 18, but no, you have to prove it. Problem is, if you're doing that, the only way to do it would be with government ID or some sort of legal ID, which means they've now got your identifying data, and most people don't want adult content sites to have that much data. Their big product is anonymity. So, companies came up with a brilliant solution to this using AI, which is, you will sit in front of your webcam, it will examine the shape of your face and use your skull shape to decide if you're over 18 or not. The accuracy rate from these multi-million pound companies is about the same as Victorian phrenology. So, the hopeful bit. What can we do about this? Is there anything we can do to fix this before it gets too late? Anyone? Bad news. It is too late. We have to accept damage is going to happen. There will be harm. So all we can do is try to educate, inform, respect the fact that there is risk and act accordingly. Big thing. They are, even the most modern ones, information engines, not truth engines. They have no understanding of the information. They don't know what truth is. They will generate plausible seeming lies because they are told to give you an answer. It's kind of like politicians. Or another way to look at it, told you I like cats. They are dogs, not cats. Cats, if they don't like you, if they don't trust you, they'll just walk away. Dogs will desperately try to please their owners because we've bred them to do that. AI are the same. Anything overly eager to please is dangerous. So, hopefully this saying makes sense. If you are doing anything with AI, if you are doing any prediction, any analysis, anything at all, take the results with a big helping of salt. Never assume an AI is telling you even remotely truthful stuff. Now, I gave this presentation to ChatGPT because we're getting to the end now, and asked it whether it had any questions. That is the insightful question it came up with. So hopefully someone here will do a bit better than what specific examples or instances of AI hallucinations or misunderstanding reality concern you the most. I just told you that. I did a whole presentation on it. And how do you think these issues could potentially impact society or individuals in the future? So to answer that question really badly. Thank you.
So we have 3 minutes.
Told you I'd get back on track.
But because we have a connection, we need a microphone, so if there are any questions, please raise your hand. No? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
it was
you.
Very excited presentation. And now we are going to next speaker.
Yeah.